What's happening, folks? Zhilei ZHANG v Joyce this weekend. The rematch. Sometimes fights that go the way the first fight did don't really warrant the rematch. But Joyce has got his rematch against the hard-hitting big bang himself in Zhilei ZHANG. Can he do it? You know what? I think he can do it. And I'll give you the reasons why and what I hope from Joyce is in the first fight, Joyce came in light. I think the game plan was to be lighter and stay out of Zhang's range and be a little bit more light-footed, a little bit more lateral movement. But Joyce is the juggernaut. He's the juggernaut. And I think he weighed 256 pounds in that first fight when Joyce was up at 278, 20 pounds heavier than Joe Joyce. I think Joe Joyce was 272 pounds, or let me just double check. He was, 272 pounds for the Parker fight. Now, I would like to see Joe Joyce on Friday coming up to weigh 272 again, even 275. He needs to match Zhang for size and be the juggernaut. Now, Zhang's got fast hands, but slow feet. Joyce has got, you know what, he every shot's a thud with Joe Joyce. And I think if he can take Zhang into the later rounds, because Zhang does tire. We've seen it in the Hrgovic fight. I was in Miami when he fought Jerry, I think his draw with Jerry Forrest. He dropped Jerry in the first 3 rounds 3 times. But then as the fight went on, Forrest got into the fight a little bit more and Zhang tired. Now, Zhang does tire coming into the later rounds. And we all know the engine that Joyce has got. Joyce has got some engine on him. He can go for days. He can do 12 rounds. He's fit. So I think if he can survive the first couple of rounds, match him for size, be the juggernaut that he is, lands a couple of big shots, take Zhang into the latter rounds, and then that's when we can see Joyce step on the gas a little bit. I'm not saying he can get Zhang out of there because Zhang is tough boys, but what I'm saying is if he can take it into the latter rounds and win those latter rounds, sneak a couple of the earlier rounds, he can get the victory here. I don't think it's heavyweight boxing, anything can happen, but I think for Joyce, he's going to beat him on points this time round. And I think it'll be, I think it'll be a tough fight. Do you know what I mean? It is a tough fight. Zhang is southpaw, Joyce is orthodox. Southpaw heavyweights are always horrible to face. But I just think that Joyce needs to come in at that 275 bracket, 275 pounds. He needs to be big. Joyce has just turned 38 as well. So I'm thinking you can't really change his style too much now. He is what he is. All right, Joyce is what he is. And you can see him, he does have that. He does have lateral movement. He does try and roll out his shots, but he is a big man. Same as Zhang, but Joyce has the engine and Zhang doesn't. Now, Joyce was on a collision course. He was doing well, beat Parker, stopped Parker. First person to stop somebody as tough as Joseph Parker as well. And he was getting talked about for facing Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. And then the Zhang fight came and obviously put a spanner in the works here. Zhang's going to go into this fight confident, but I think that Joyce, he wouldn't have took this fight if he didn't think he could win. That's a fact. Okay? And I think that there's a different game plan going to be played, and I think it's to do with his weight, and I hope it's to do with his weight. I hope he comes in big. And like I say to you, he was on a collision course for Tyson Fury and Joshua, so this is a must win for him if he wants to get talked about with those guys again, the Usyks, the Joshuas, and the Furies, even the Wilders. So he needs to win this fight, and he needs to win it like he beat Dubois, and the way he beat Joseph Parker is be the bigger man in there. Now, it's hard to be a bigger man with somebody like Zhang, who's 6'6", 6'7", 275, 280 pounds. It's hard to be the bigger man against somebody like that. But Joyce is big too, but he needs to be big. He needs to be the juggernaut, like I keep saying. He needs to be the juggernaut. And but I think he can do it. The big man can do it. Zhang's 40 years old as well, so Zhang's no spring chicken. But we know these heavyweights, they don't take something out of their career by making weight all the time. We've seen fighters drain themselves, and it takes that little bit out of them each time as they get older. They have to move up in weight because making that weight takes it out of them. But the heavyweights, man, you're eating cheesecake all day. Or maybe they're athletes, so maybe they're not eating cheesecake. But you know what I mean? They're not making weight. They might diet to get down to a preferred weight, but they're not killing themselves to make that weight. So I think that heavyweights can go on until their 40s. We've seen that. And I think that Joe Joyce's game plan and what I would like to see is him to weigh 270 pounds plus on Friday afternoon when the weigh-in happens. I think that's his best chance, is to be as big as Zhang and land those big thudding shots. He was landing the backhand. I think that may be one of the lightest he's ever weighed in the first fight. I'm not sure. Somebody might look this up. I'm pretty sure he's weighed 250 odd pounds before in a couple of his earlier fights, but these big fights that he's been in, the Dubois, he's been 268 or 267, I think it was, and then Joseph Parker was 272, and he was 256 for Zhang, and I think that's where he went wrong. Obviously the eye injury as well, the back, he couldn't miss with a backhand, Zhang, but obviously when your eye goes and that socket goes and you can't see, that's a problem for any fighter, obviously. But listen, the big man can do it. Joe Joyce, man, the juggernaut, he can do it. And I think that if he takes Zhang into the later rounds, we'll see the fight that we expected the first fight to be, because he was heavy favourite in the first fight. I had Joyce winning the first fight before it happened. I thought Joyce would just do what he does best and just be that workhorse, that engine, land those, that jab. His jab is beautiful. But again, his jab against the southpaw, because the southpaw jabs over his jab. Do you know what I mean? So his backhand's got to be the weapon in this fight. Similar to the way Zhang's backhand was the weapon for him in the last fight. Because like I say, heavyweights don't have that movement as the weird guys. They have a little bit lateral movement. So I don't think Joyce can miss his backhand. But I just think that he can. Listen, I think he can do it. And I want him to do it. And because I like the big guy, such a friendly big giant, such a nice guy. And if he comes in at 270 plus pounds, he's doing it. I'm putting, damn, he's doing it. I know for a fact he's doing it if he's big. Let me know what you think. You already know what to do. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe already. Leave a comment if you want. If I'm talking absolute mince, if I'm talking BS, and you think you've got a better opinion than me, then by all means comment. Let me know, and we'll talk about it. Because like I say, boxing subjective. It's brilliant. That's why we love the sport, because everyone's got a different opinion. You're not always right. And probably 90% I'm always wrong, 10% I'm right, but I'll take that. But listen, leave a comment, let me know who wins. Joyce Zhang